I don't know about you, but I love coffee. And of course, I had my cup of black morning coffee before I recorded this video for you this morning. And I don't need any more reasons to drink coffee. I love the taste of it. I like how it makes me feel. And in recent times, there's been kind of a back and forth on whether or not coffee was good for you or bad for you. For a while, people were starting to say that it was bad for you. Now, a lot of studies are coming out saying it has a lot of benefits and that it's good for you. And I don't know what the definitive answer is about that. However, there's one more reason why you might consider drinking coffee. And the really interesting thing about this new study is that the benefit from coffee also came to those who drank decaf coffee. So it's not necessarily the caffeine for this particular thing that we're talking about in this video. It has to do with probably some other compounds that are found in coffee as well. So even if you drink decaf, you still get the benefits according to this study. So let's read from today.com. They say, new study finds coffee drinkers have reduced risk of liver disease. And they go on to say that that even includes some kinds of cancers. And so this study talks about the effects of coffee on liver disease. And I think this is really exciting. So let's keep reading. For decades, it seemed researchers were bent on demonizing our beloved morning wake-up elixir, coffee. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I like to have coffee in the afternoon as well. And another study that I saw recently says that if you drink a cup of black coffee, and then right after that, before it kind of starts taking effect, you take like a 15 to 20-minute nap, that actually makes you feel the best in the afternoon time. And so I don't know about you, but I get pretty tired between, like 12 and 2 or so. Like after I eat lunch, I don't feel very awake. And if I drink a cup of black coffee and immediately take a nap for just 10, 15, 20 minutes, when you wake up and the coffee kicks in and also your nap kicks in at the same time, that's an extremely effective way of kind of micro napping and making the rest of your day a lot more productive. And that works really well for me. So I just wanted to share that little tip with you as we read through this. And so it goes on to say that the tide turned, however, and these days barely a month goes by without a new study touting the health benefits of the invigorating infusion. The latest of these studies finds that regular coffee consumption, whether caffeinated, decaffeinated, or instant, appears to protect our livers from some really scary diseases, including cancer. So apparently even instant coffee protects your liver, which is very interesting. Using information from a database of nearly 500,000 adults based in the UK, researchers determined that coffee drinkers had a 21% reduction in the risk for chronic liver disease overall, a 20% reduction in the risk of fatty liver disease, and a 49% reduction in the risk of death from chronic liver disease, according to the report published in BMC Public Health. That's a very significant effect, and if that's related to coffee, I'm definitely going to keep drinking it, and maybe I'll even increase my intake. Chronic liver disease is a huge problem for global health, especially low-income countries where treatments are less available, said the study's lead author, Oliver Kennedy, a visiting research fellow at the University of Southampton in the UK. Our finding that drinking coffee might protect against chronic liver disease is significant because coffee is cheap, widely available, safe, and well tolerated by most people, Kennedy said in an email. It's also reassuring that all coffee types seem to be protective, including decaffeinated coffee, which might be preferable for certain people, for example, pregnant women, and people who have trouble sleeping at night. Maybe they don't want to have a coffee at 3 in the afternoon, and it keeps them awake, or even having one in the morning might kind of interrupt their sleep cycle. So people who have insomnia, maybe this benefits them as well if they just want to have some decaf. It's not yet known how coffee might protect the liver, Kennedy said. So this study just kind of shows that it provides a reduced risk of these liver problems, but it doesn't show how that happens. Coffee contains many hundreds of compounds, and we don't know exactly which of these confers the protective effect, he added. Yeah, so maybe once they isolate it, they can just make a pill that everyone can take, whether they like coffee or not. Not sure about that. It may be one compound or a combination. The fact that different types of coffee, which contain different chemical compounds, seem protective suggests that it might be a combination of compounds. And does the effect increase as the number of cups go up. So should you drink more coffee according to the study or not? Well, the authors of the study say it was difficult to assess the effects of very high levels of coffee consumption, as the numbers of people drinking these amounts in our study were relatively small. Yeah, of course. From the data available, there did seem to be a dose response with larger amounts conferring more protection. However, the researcher said, there is likely a level beyond which increasing coffee consumption confers no further benefit. For example, in our study, the benefit of 5 or more cups a day was generally smaller than for 3 or 4 cups each day, though still protective compared to no coffee at all. And it's so funny when I read these studies, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I actually don't drink that much coffee, even though I love it. I have a cup of black coffee every single morning for sure. That's kind of how I start my day off. And sometimes I have one more cup of black coffee in the afternoon, like I said, with my little power nap. And so I thought like maybe 2 cups is kind of a lot, 3 cups is a lot. Well, this is saying that kind of like 3 or 4 cups a day is almost like a normal average amount to drink. So I don't know how much coffee you drink, but I definitely don't do that. If I drank 4 cups of coffee, I would be bouncing off the walls. But I have a lot of natural energy anyway, so maybe that's just my own personal body chemistry, but I feel like 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day is overkill. But for some people, I guess it's a normal amount. And if you drink that much, maybe it's even better for you than what I do with 1, maybe 2 cups a day. So I don't know what the deal is on coffee. I think the jury is still out, and it's a complex mixture of a lot of different compounds. Our body system is very complex. We're just starting to understand how these things work with each other right now. And so we still don't know if on the whole coffee is good or bad for you, but I do know one thing. I'm definitely going to keep having a cup every single morning. That's how I like to start my day until they tell me that it's definitively horrible for you. Then I'll consider cutting it out. But until then, I'm going to keep drinking my coffee, and you probably will as well. And even if you don't like coffee, you can drink decaf and potentially get these liver protecting benefits. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would like to personally invite you to join me every single morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I post a new video like this every single weekday. So if you enjoyed this one, please join me every single day, and we'll talk about something that I find interesting, and I hope you do as well. And either way, whether you decide to watch another video or not, I'm Jim Wolf, and I hope you have an excellent day. And, I hope you try that tip sometime of drinking 1 cup of coffee and immediately taking a 10 to 20 minute nap and seeing how you feel, because it makes me feel great.